Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verses 29 through 40. Let's talk about verse 29. I have no clue what he's talking about in terms of baptizing the dead. Paul himself doesn't believe that one's faith can be, extended to somebody else, that each one has to have faith. So I'm not sure what he's talking about. This is a mystery. Lost to time. So let's move on. Paul says, we're willing to face all kinds of dangers every day because we know that this life is temporary. It is perishing. Because we have the resurrection, we have hope, that confidence that makes us courageous. We're willing to face the dangers of preaching the gospel because we know that this is not the end of it. And he says, if all we have is human hope, right? If all we have is what our own efforts can achieve, what do we gain? And I think that's a real challenge to this world that does not believe in God, that does not believe in the resurrected Christ. If all you do is hope in this life, you got a very limited hope because things die, right? And so Paul says, don't be misled by bad company. Don't be misled by those who focus only on this life. And he says, so he goes on and he says, so stop sinning and live for this new life. Don't be ignorant of God. See what God is doing and live into that resurrection hope. Now he goes on to some say, well, how are the dead raised? What kind of body are they coming in? And really sort of these questions is like, it doesn't apply to you right now. Why does it matter? And he says, what you sow must die. And so that our lives that we have here, they are simply the seed we are planting for the life to come. God gives you and I a human life, an earthly body, natural flesh. But that natural flesh is not going to turn into eternal life. It doesn't have the power to. It doesn't have the ability to, because it's the natural. It is the heavenly bodies that we're going to be resurrected into, and that is a different kind of splendor. And so we are to live in this world, in this earthly body, but it is not the body that's going to continue in the life to come. So I want to encourage us that when we think about what death will be like, what life will be like in heaven, in the resurrected state, to a certain extent, all the things that we know in this life that we think we know so much about, right, is not going to be what comes next. It can't be, because what we know in this world is limited. It's finite. It is disconnected from the constant presence of God. And heaven will be a nonstop, energized, fully alive celebration of life. And that's where our focus should be, not on whether we're going to have Taco Tuesdays in heaven. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.